Well, this is the kind of weather we've been having. Might be a little noisy here, so maybe I should try and walk someplace that'll be blocked by the wind. Hi everybody. Well, I wish I could say I'm having an amazing time. Unfortunately, I can't quite say that. And it has nothing to do with the ship or the staff or the service or anything like that. It's, I've caught the stomach virus on this ship. And you might be saying, hey Don, if you got the stomach virus, what are you doing out? Well, there's nobody around me, anywhere about me. And they wanted to sanitize my room and freshen it up, make me feel a little better in case there's something in the room that's causing it. And so I'm out stretching my legs a little bit, getting some fresh air, and not having a great time. And like I said, it has nothing to do with the ship. Nothing to do with the ship. So far, the ship has been, a very unique experience. I'm not used to the small ships. I'll be honest. That's the end of the ship, by the way. That's one side. And look, there's the other side. If I ran at full speed across the width of the ship, I could get there in about 6 seconds. So that's one thing. Oh. Here, let me get down here a little bit better. But it's a very, very different way of cruising. And I say that they have a lot of things that the big ships have. They have a Broadway entertainment staff on board. They'll have trivia on board. They have a buffet on board. A nice restaurant, a coffee house, putting green, driving range, ping pong, stuff you'd see. But you don't have the other bells and whistles, right? You're not gonna have flow riders. You're not gonna have slides, water slides. You're not gonna have a water park. You're not gonna have 4 or 5 specialty restaurants. There's a couple on board, and it definitely is a much older crowd on board. For instance, I was on the jogging track, and I've noticed I've never seen anyone jogging, including myself. But I did get out and try and get my steps in. Again, late in the evening when nobody else was around, because I don't want to give what I have to anybody else, and that's one of the reasons I'm cleaning my stateroom. Otherwise, I'd still be in my stateroom. But it really is a different experience sailing on a small ship. It's much more intimate. The crew get to know you much sooner. You also get to know the other patrons, like the other passengers, very quickly on this ship. But I do notice there's very few single people on this ship as well. Very few solo cruisers. There's 1 or 2, but basically it's a couples cruise. Also, I haven't seen any kids on board yet. It's not an adult-only cruise line, but I haven't seen any kids. Could be the location, the time of year that I'm sailing right now. January to February. But we are getting to ports that you definitely wouldn't be on if you were on, an Oasis class ship, the Icon, or even in a large, the Jubilee or the Prima from anybody else. You wouldn't be able to get into these ports. They're just too small ports. In fact, when I'm in the port, it's very rare for the cargo ships around us to be much larger than we are, which seems very, very strange. Also, when the tugboats are pulling us out, the top of the tugboat is even with my window in my cabin in my balcony. That's how low to the water we are. So yeah, very much different experience. Now, if you are someone who's prone to motion sickness and that, a small ship is not for you. This ship has stabilizers, it's state of the art, and it is a moving, it is a rocking. And it is not that rough a seas. It's a little windy, but we're only talking like 3 foot, 5 foot waves. We're not talking 15-foot waves here. And we're still rocking quite a bit. So if you have any kind of motion sickness like that, you might want to stick to the medium to large size cruise ships. The other difference is it is very port intensive, which means you're built to have your shore excursions, which are included in your price of your cruise. So it's meant to explore, to see the ports that you can't get to on a large ship. It's meant to do that. What it's not really meant to is spend your days on the ship. You know, you have a pool here, but other than that, you might have a beanbag toss, you might have a trivia, but that's pretty much it. And there's not a lot else going on. Yeah. So I would curtail this to those people who really want to see the ports, really want to experience the, like, this isn't, you're not getting into tourist areas. You're getting into the nitty gritty here in Brazil. You're not, you know, this isn't, hey, look at us, we're putting on our best space cruise ports. This is, hey, this is how we live, come and visit us, we'll show you what it's like. That's these cruise ports. And if that's what you're interested in, that's what you want to see, then this is perfect for you. And these kind of trips are perfect for you as well. Like I say, the ship is very intimate. The entertainment on board, they actually had a Broadway show the first night before I got sick. It was okay. You know, if I saw that on the Icon, I'd be very upset. But it's way more than I expected on this size of a ship. They had a full dance troupe and, you know, multiple singers. So I chalked that up to a win. They even had the screens in the background, you know, going along with some of the music and some of the songs. So I do give that a win on this. It's way more entertainment than I thought I was going to get. I was picturing in my head almost like riverboat entertainment, where you're going to have a piano person, or you might have, you know, a quartet come on board or something like that. But no, it was actually quite good. The second night they had a juggler and a comedian. So a variety of entertainment and a different show every night for our cruise, which is, you know, more than I expected. Way more than I expected. I quite appreciate that. Because if there's no entertainment on board on a ship, I'm going to be bored. I'm going to get bored very, very quickly. So, yeah, unfortunately, this cruise for me hasn't been the best because I got sick. And I haven't been able to go on these shore excursions that I have. I haven't booked. I just can't take a chance because I can't spend right now 20 minutes without having to sit down for a while, if you know what I mean. And I'm not getting the full experience on this trip, which is a crying shame, because I really wanted to see what Regent Seven Seas has to offer. And from what I can see, they offer a great product, you know, very attentive staff, first class food, you know, service, you know, beyond expectation, and, you know, everything you can ask for. And so I really wanted to experience, you know, the full thing, and not being able to see all the entertainment, not being able to go to the specialty restaurants right now, not being able to do shore excursions. That's a real bummer. And I feel really, really bad about it. That's why I don't want to give it a full review, other than to say I think, you know, if you're okay with the small ports and the small ship being, you know, you're not going to have a lot of stuff on board. You're not having slides and all that. You're not having, there's no flow rider on board. Then I think this might be the right cruise line for you, because as far as I can see, the staff, the service, the food, and the ships, the rooms are great. I just wish I could experience a little more instead of basically mostly my stateroom.